Now, everybody knows that I can trigger the Bitcoin bros pretty effectively, and that's exactly what we did yesterday with our video covering a prediction from Patrick Riley talking about XRP surpassing Bitcoin. Maybe this bull run, maybe the next bull run, but eventually, Bitcoin getting dethroned by XRP is something that I definitely think is a possibility. So in agreement with Patrick Riley's prediction, I covered it, shared my thoughts, and I thought that was all fun, fine, and dandy. And then I came across a tweet here from Crypto Eddie, huge shout out to her, for finding this old article from the CEO of SBI Holdings, Yoshitaka Kitao, where he is in agreement, or should we say in consensus, no pun intended, that XRP will in fact take over Bitcoin. And he even talks about how he doesn't think that Bitcoin has any value, which is very fascinating because they do actually mine a significant amount of Bitcoin over there at SBI. But without further ado, folks, we're going to get right into this video. We have Brad Garlinghouse set to take the stage in DC FinTech Week. They are going to be absolutely taking over DC before they take off for Dubai as Ripple Swell Conference starting up as well. So back-to-back big events that Brad Garlinghouse will be in complete control of. And we absolutely love to see this at a moment in time where we're getting legal clarity. On the back of that, we also have additional utility coming to the XRP ledger, and this is something that separates it from Bitcoin and the rest of the space as well. So let's get right on into this update. It's going to be a quick one, folks, as we're just taking a look here. You can see that the DC FinTech Week started yesterday, and we're already getting them talking about real-world utility. Take a look at this one. Mike Hasu, acting controller of the currency, today at DC FinTech Week, when it comes to crypto, the ones with utility are going to win. And this is a summary. Let's listen in real quick on what he has to say. This is the acting comptroller of the currency here in the United States of America.
Particularly when it comes to crypto, which of course has had its own issues over the last year. We still have not gotten the formal regulation. I know that's not necessarily on your shoulders, so you should maybe go talk to Gary and a couple other people to see where they stand. But is there a solution?
Did you guys hear that? He says, maybe you should go talk to Gary about that. And Gary is set to take the stage here just a few hours after Brad Garlinghouse basically starts off the Wednesday session here at DC FinTech Week. We're going to be watching this one closely.
I guess, to the problem that I feel like crypto itself kind of created.
Yeah. So in my travels over the past year or so, and I talked to financial institutions, technology firms, other regulators globally, whenever this comes up, something I have really, it's really emerged. There seems to be more and more of a divide between crypto on the one hand and tokenization of real world assets and liabilities on the other hand. What do I mean by that? Well, with crypto, that's the usual stuff that is reported in the press, and it's what basically shot up and then crashed. That's the crypto world. It's retail focused, largely, and it tends to be driven by the hope for speculative gain. That seems to be the main kind of fuel and interest in crypto, is that maybe I can make some money by investing in X, Y, or Z, a particular coin. It still remains replete with fraud, scams, and hacks, and some of the largest players remain unregulated.
And this is what we've been talking about, and just to reiterate the point, we just covered how HSBC was one of the first banks here to offer tokenized digital assets to their institutional clients. And so this is enterprise, this is institutional, and they're coming in and they're looking at the real world tokenization of assets, right? Putting everything of value on chain. And this is the divide that is separating basically the new crypto utility bull run that should be beginning here shortly from the speculation run that took us up to an overall cryptocurrency market cap of $3 trillion. Now, the good news, whether you love Bitcoin or whether you hate Bitcoin, is that we have the overall cryptocurrency market cap that'll probably 2 to 3x what we did the last bull run, in my opinion. And so that takes us up to a level that's, 6 to 9, maybe even 10 trillion, I think can be achieved during this next bull run. And the fact of the matter is that when you read all the white papers from all these institutions, they're talking about reaching 10 to 30 trillion in tokenization over the next decade. And so this is a very, very exciting time. The DC FinTech Week has become a big deal for 7+ years now. But what's so interesting, as always, Ripple doesn't stop. Crypto means business is the slogan that they've been running with for the last year, right? and they're still getting business deals done. Now, you already know that they acquired the company Medico, and now we have a deal signed with one of the biggest German banks, DZ Bank, for digital custody business. DZ Bank handles about $300 billion worth of assets. Siemens and UnionPay also have their digital asset investments in DZ Bank, which makes the deal groundbreaking. And so this was a deal that was just announced by Medico. You can see it right here, taking a top-tier bank live in less than 9 months. And that sounds similar to Ripple, right? Talking about building out a CBDC for a central bank in one day, right? That type of streamlining capability. And so now we see with Ripple taking over Medico and that adding another vertical to their business infrastructure, and that's custody. And this is a Medico company that already had some significant deals. Remember the deal with Citibank? And now we're seeing another deal here with one of the biggest German banks, and that's absolutely fantastic to see when we're expecting potentially even some more announcements coming on the back of DC FinTech Week and Swell. And we're talking settlement too. Now, and we've seen here that Brad Garlinghouse expects $10 trillion to come on the XRPL from the custody of digital assets market. Now, this is not what he said in the video. Actually, he talks about $10 trillion coming into tokenization and coming into DLT. He didn't necessarily say that it was going to come to the XRPL. And so that was, they kind of misrepresented the quote there if you listen to the clip. But the point being that Brad understands, along with all the biggest institutions in the world, that we're set to tokenize tens of trillions of real world assets and financial instruments on the DLT technologies. And XRPL is slated to get a significant amount with legal clarity and the additional utilities on top of a 10-year track record of essentially no downtime and no problems. And so, like I said, it was crazy when I said that XRP could potentially, surpass Bitcoin. I was covering the prediction from Patrick Riley yesterday. And this is something that I've talked about for a while. But then I come across this tweet right here from Crypto Eddie. I've had this article in my back pocket for more than 4 years, which, Crypto Eddie, why are you holding out the good stuff for us here? For 4 years, she's been sitting on this one. This is fantastic. SBI CEO Yoshitaka Kitao, representing the largest outside shareholder of Ripple, was interviewed February of 2019. He stated that he thought XRP would become the #1 crypto asset among all, and they were moving towards that goal. So it's not just his belief. SBI Holdings has really been a strong backer of Ripple and the XRP ledger. They just fired up ODL too in one of the corridors over there. And so they are part of this, right? This is part of their goal, is to make XRP the #1. And with this newfound legal clarity, this goal is more possible than ever. I couldn't agree more. And she notes that, yes, SBI does utilize the digital asset XRP in a variety of ways, including as a bridge currency. They also embrace ERC20 tokens with R3 Japan joint venture. So yeah, there is a connection there with SBI and R3. Of course, we had a deal with R3 and Ripple for 5 billion XRP. That fell through. R3 only got 1 billion XRP. But what stands out to me is the SBI mines Bitcoin up to 3% of all Bitcoin mined globally. So SBI has their share of the Bitcoin mining operation there, a few percentages. And this was a powerful statement. Absolutely. Let's take a look at this. Quote, Bitcoin basically has no value. It will not be easy for Bitcoin to be used more and more for practical purposes at that price. Therefore, I think that XRP will probably become the #1 crypto asset among virtual currencies. We are starting to move toward that goal. So, like I said, it's one thing I came out and made the prediction. That's crazy. Patrick Riley, he's known, I've had him on the show a couple times, and we've had some crazy conversations too. And I've talked to many people in the XRP community who think that XRP will surpass Bitcoin. We have already surpassed Ethereum, so we have to remember that. And with real utility, we distinguish ourselves amongst Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies with no utility. But then the other part that distinguishes XRP from the rest of the space is, in fact, the company Ripple that is admitted that XRP is the heartbeat of their company. Now, they've been selling off XRP exclusively to institutions around the world who are using XRP for real-world utility, for the type of tokenization that we were just talking about. And in a separate video, I'm going to be talking about the DTCC, how they just acquired a company called Securency. I believe is what it's called. And they're looking to issue securities and settle up securities on their new DLT platform. And the DTCC is the largest, processor and settler of securities in the United States. And I think they're spread out worldwide too. 2.5 quadrillion. I know that for a fact. I pulled that right off their website when I was doing some research. So I'm going to be talking about that in a separate video. But let me know in the comments down below what you think, right? I mean, we're crazy XRP conspiracy theory folks, right? But then you have a big hitter like Yoshitaka Kitao, CEO of SBI, who believes in concurrence with us that XRP will surpass Bitcoin and that Bitcoin doesn't have any value. That's the other part too. And my mentor, Dan Pena, says that if you found out who owned or who created Bitcoin, that you would run as fast as you could to sell it and that it would drop to zero in an instant like that. Now, that's a crazy old man. I'm a crazy little YouTuber. Definitely like some conspiracy theories within the XRP community and like having some fun with that. But I think when the rubber meets the road, crypto means business. That's the model that Ripple's been rolling with. As they are set to take over DC FinTech Week, I'll be watching Brad Garlinghouse taking the stage before he sets off to Dubai, where XRP just got full legal clarity within Dubai as well, and they're set to have full clarity in 72 plus countries in the Middle East right now off of that deal as well. So it's tremendous progress and it's real world assets coming to the ledger, and the value that we're talking about eventually is in the quadrillions. I know it's crazy to talk about quantum computing, to talk about quadrillions, but it's just simple math when you go look at how much is actually settled and processed on a yearly basis just at the DTCC. $2.5 quadrillion worth of value, and it's mostly securities. So it is here, it is happening, and it's exciting to see the progress. Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, do you think that XRP will dethrone Bitcoin and take that #1 spot? And everything else can be found at my website, ZachRector.com. If you can smash it on the way out, I'd greatly appreciate that. If you're new here, make sure you come on back, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless.